And hello, everybody, and welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 Special MultiversX, like every Wednesday in the morning, live on X, YouTube, and Twitch. And I am very happy this morning to co-host this live with my friend Arno. Hello, Arno, Biz Development Manager at Atom Protocol. Hello, Arno, what's up?
Hello, GM. Doing good, actually. Doing good.
I love your new
It's a busy
hair.
week.
You
What?
have a new haircut?
No,
Really?
no.
It's
It's
not
just,
shorter on this on the sides.
I had
Okay.
it last week.
Oh, I don't remember. Okay.
Just,
So
I just got up and yeah,
okay, I'm so jealous. Look, when I wake up, my hair. I'm so jealous.
washed it this morning. But,
I did it too, but it
that's
doesn't
an
change the
interesting
game.
conversation we're having for
Yeah,
our audience.
definitely. I think people are here for that. Yeah, today we'll be joined by many speakers to speak about different topics about multiverses, and one of him is Joachim. Hello, Joachim.
Good morning, good morning. How are you all doing? I see we're all in
I'm-
the same flat. We really need to have a custom GM Web3
No,
background
but
because this is
you're in the second room, right?
yeah. And your sofa is the opposite way of ours.
Yes.
How
That's
you all
because I'm
doing?
on the other side of the mansion.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Joachim, for joining us. You're the co-founder and CEO of Galpa Labs and involved in many multiverses projects. And we'll be joined by later by Robert Sasu, core developer at MultiversX, but also by Philip from Crypto Bay and many other projects in which he's involved too. So we'll be able to speak about different topics. So first of all, we'll speak about the different news, Web3 news all together. And at 10:30, so I'm speaking CET, Central Europe time, we'll receive the founder of Dr. X, the project that everybody's talking about on MultiversX. And Robert Sasu, as I was saying, will be joining us at like in 1 hour ish to speak about, of course, Dr. X, but also the behavior of multiverses these last hours. So the blockchain, but also the APIs. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. So feel free, of course, to ask your questions in the comment section. We'll try to pick them and to ask them to our guest of today. Before we start, I'd like to thank our main partner, main sponsor of GM Web3 MultiversX. It's Atom Protocol. It's the leading lending and borrowing and liquid staking protocol on MultiversX, and they are offering $25 in their token, the HTM. And to take part of it, to be eligible of this giveaway, all you have to do is to quote tweet the space link on Twitter. I put the links in the comment of the live. I have some. Comment on dit des travaux en anglais?
Some
Work
workers.
being done.
Yeah, work room.
Yeah, so I will mute my mic when I can, but yes, it's not impossible that there is noise. So feel free to tell me if it's noisy or annoying. Yeah. Okay, so before we start, it's important. So quote tweet the space of the link, subscribe to our YouTube channel, put a like, put a comment. You can find the replay of this show on YouTube, but also on every podcast platform, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and Deezer. Philip will be joining us right now. So Philip, hey, we can't listen to you, we can hear you.
Nice t-shirt.
Cool.
Better.
Full team.
Yeah.
GM everyone. I put my best t-shirt today. Look at that.
Yeah, we can see it. Let me put it
Oh.
full screen.
How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, very well, very well. And yeah,
Jerem,
Arno
I'm
is
so
right.
happy.
Why?
I'm so happy because this is the all-star team. We're lacking food.
Yeah,
I can
he doesn't want to speak English. He doesn't want
Yeah,
to
he
speak
doesn't want to speak
English.
English. And
He's
he has
shy.
no, he's not shy. He's not shy.
Maybe in 2025, hopefully.
But okay, let's do a 24-hour space now. We have the good team to do that.
Everyone will be passing by for
Wait,
sure.
I need to get some coffee. Be right back.
And yeah, you're right, Arno. It's a real pleasure to have you guys, and it's the last GM Web3 MultiversX of the year. So yeah, next week and the week after we'll have some rest, and to be back on January for new shows, new guests, new news, and so on. So guys, let's start the crypto press release, and we'll speak about something that a lot of people spoke about. Even the CEO of MicroStrategy retweeted this, so it's pretty big. Let me share my screen. It's not this one, so
The limited time offer. MicroStrategy was like, you need to get an offer.
No, we'll speak about this. No to CBDC, yes to Bitcoin. So it's about French European Parliament deputy. Yeah, thank you. Who yesterday made a speech about calling for European countries to constitute Bitcoin strategic reserve, like Trump wants to do, and Japan and Russia and many other countries also. And it's first in Europe that a European deputy speaks about it, and she's French. It's Sarah Knafo. In France, she's pretty famous because she's we can say the wife of a very famous polemist, we can say Eric Zemmour. And so all the French crypto Twitter, but also in the world, they all spoke about it. So the question, guys, is do you think it will happen in Europe in the coming, I don't know, month, that European country will create this Bitcoin reserve, strategic reserve, saying that we mentioned a few weeks ago a candidate in Poland presidential election already spoke about this Bitcoin strategic reserve. So things are moving because Bitcoin is 100,000 euro now for the first time. And Trump is doing great claims about it. Who wants to start about this? Yeah,
Sure,
or no?
I'll go. Yeah. There's several interesting things here. The first one to me is it is a strategic topic that the European Union should talk about, but every state should grow a pair and decide what to do with this. You don't need to have the EU saying, "Oh, you should start doing a strategic reserve." I mean, if you have, I don't know, the as French people and the French government, etc., starting to think that it is good to have a Bitcoin reserve, then just start creating a Bitcoin reserve for your country. We shouldn't have to wait for the EU to say we can do this and that before doing it.
Yeah, just to be clear, because she precised her initial speech with the media, the big whale. She precised that it was not a call for European Union to do it, but for every country. So of course she was speaking about France because she's French, but also it was a call because she is a European Union deputy. So that's why, because I think if he was a French deputy, she would have done the same speech at the French Assembly. But that's why it happened on Europe. Joachim?
Mm.
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic because obviously we're already seeing it starting to discuss in the US, and you kind of got the ball rolling and discussion going in Europe. And it is a bit interesting that that idea actually, like, we obviously had El Salvador, etc., but like that the idea has started to come to the US too, because the initial agreed reserve we had through the world was through the US dollar that was backed by gold with the Bedford Agreement. And like we entrusted a government, the U.S. government, to store our gold to back the U.S. dollar, so it would be easier to do international trades. Obviously, that changed when the Bedford Agreement fell through, and the dollar wasn't backed with gold anymore and became inflationary compared to gold. So we're kind of like moving back again, and it's a bit what the BRICS have been looking into too, that we want a way to store value that is independent of any country, to give a certain form of sovereignty to everyone of us. So is it coming the next few months? I don't think so. I think we know that European countries tend to be a bit slower on those kind of things. But I think it's a very important discussion to have, because it can also, as we're discussing, facilitate trades across countries, especially countries that don't trust each other.
Yeah, Philip, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just add a small point, because I mean we already said a lot, but one that I would like to put forward that I saw on X the last days regarding that is that it's always a subject or a point of discussion or a proposal made by the extreme right, and that it's in US, that it's in Europe, that it's in yeah, you're muted, but yeah. So the idea is really like I'm scared that we see like a kind of a defensive position of the Republican front, if I can say, like the central, the center, right and left, the normal one, usually against Bitcoin, just because it's a narrative from the extreme right. I hope it's not that kind of thing that we'll see in the future, but it's something that I'm scared of, because at the moment it's what we can see. I mean, with Trump, with what's her name already, with Sarah Knafo, Zemmour also he talk also a little about Bitcoin, even if it's wrong, but it's a subject that always only the extreme right is talking about, and that need to change before to have a clear discussion and a constructive discussion at the parliament, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeremy, if I may add on top, what's interesting with Sarah Knafo is she's 31 years old, and she invested in Bitcoin. She invested in cryptocurrencies, and she made money. It made her, some wealth. And what's interesting here is that she is the next generation of politicians. She's the politicians that have our age, a couple years. And so her breed is going to become more and more present over the upcoming years. And so a politician who has 55, 60 years old is not going to talk about cryptocurrencies and blockchain
Except
the same
Trump.
way. No, but Trump is very different, because Trump is an American. Trump is an American, and to Philip's point, Kamala Harris, like Americans are very pragmatic. They are a different, it's a different kind of people. They are economic. They are economically centric. They do business, and business aligns everybody.
Even in France, it's not correct, because we have three main deputies in France that took cryptocurrencies topic, and one was Pierre Persson, which is pretty young, but you have also two others. I can find the name if you want, and they are pretty old. So I think it's not generational at the moment, but what you say is interesting, and what just Philip said also, because we need to mention to the audience that on the French political scene, Sarah Knafo is positioned on the far right, as not extreme. We say far right, and we also tend to place Trump on the far right for his positions on immigration. The same for Bukele on his security policy, and for Milei in Argentina, who is considered like far right too. So the question is, do only liberal and conservative parties will take up these issues? And I'm not sure it's just about age. And just to maybe bounce on what you said, Arno, I had Sarah Knafo on phone yesterday. We spoke a little bit, and yeah, she mentioned that she got interested in cryptocurrencies in 2027. So it's not very new. No,
2017.
2017. Sorry.
Back
From
to
the
the
future,
future.
I mean, she didn't back. She should have go back in 28. I mean,
I tell you, Bitcoin is 3 million in 2027.
And yeah, on the media, a few in 2021, she said that she got like rich thanks to Bitcoin, but it was more like a joke. I'm not sure it's real that she really earned a lot of money. But yeah, she bought her first cryptocurrencies in 2017, and the topic is not very new in her party, because, as you said, the president of the party, Eric Zemmour, went to Ledger, one of the biggest cryptocurrency
Yes, but it's because of her.
during the
It's because of
no,
her.
actually not that much, because if you want to remember what happened at this moment, the CEO of Ledger made a call to every party, okay, every French party, and many of them was
She
supposed
was
to
taking
go.
care of his presidential campaign. She was
Yes, but just let me
the
finish.
most presidential campaign.
Yeah, but at that time, and the president, the CEO of CoinHouse, confirmed this in an interview a few weeks ago. And so many party was supposed to go there. I mean, the far left, the right, the normal right. So different party was supposed to go to Ledger, but because of Ukraine war, they all canceled this meeting with Ledger, and only Zemmour kept the rendezvous. But basically, many were supposed to go there to speak about high tech and so on. So just to add some context about the presidential in 2020, it was 2021. Yeah. 22. I don't remember. Yeah. Joachim wanted to say.
Very quickly. I think that we have this issue with politics, with like far left, far right, etc. That, for example, like we tie in immigration in it as something being of the far right, but mostly on the political spectrum, it has to do with economy. If you go very a strong state over libertarianism, and we're seeing that the crypto topic is mostly discussed by libertarianism, and I think that is where we have a very interesting debate to have, because crypto has somewhat become political for certain people. It displays a form of, well, less state intervention, etc. for a lot of people. The Not everyone agrees. For example, I actually believe that crypto is quite apolitical, but it has been promoted very strongly by very politically to the right people, and I think that is why it's being brought in front, because people who tend to support, let's say, parties to more left or center leaning don't have, I would say, crypto as big of a topic. But yeah, so I think like it's more an economical point of view more than far right or far left. It's more to do with how much we do believe in libertarianism and individual freedom on funds, etc.
Okay, we'll see what will happen, but we can mention that 18 minutes ago, she posted again about Bitcoin on her X account. So it's a topic that she like decided to really take these days. So we'll see what will happen. And to be honest with you, I'm trying to have her on GM Web3 in French. So we'll see if it's possible to ask questions to her. She will be maybe the best to answer. But thank you, guys. Let's go to the next news. I could not find an English source about it, but it's pretty sure that it's correct. It's about Tether. We said a few months ago that Tether was giving up European market because of regulation, MiCA, and so on, and they decided to invest in a company, Stable R, which is a company regulated in Europe as EMI, which is necessary to issue a stablecoin in Europe. And so, yeah, they position themselves to comply with the upcoming standards and maintain its presence in a region moving toward more defined rules for digital assets. So yeah, normally Tether will not give up European Union. So yeah, that's a news. I don't know if you want to say anything about it, but
this is, and I think Tether is by profit margin the most profitable company in the world. It's absolutely insane, compared to their total business, the margin that they're capable of. I think for the first quarter, they had close to $4.5 billion in profit margin just for the first quarter of 2024, which is absolutely nuts when you look at the size of the company. And so stablecoins, centralized stablecoins is the most profitable business on earth right now. So even if the EU and Europe is a smaller pie, it is also a pie that is behind in terms of adoption. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to become a very large pie, and it would be strange for a company like Tether to just let it go when they have the means to invest and buy companies who are going to become the owners of this pie on the stablecoin, the centralized stablecoin field.
Yeah, and what wasn't the first, oh no, we will back out of Europe, kind of like, I don't want to say a bluff, but like a way to put a bit of pressure and see if it would have an impact. And then they realize, well, it's too big of a market anyway, so we have to take that into account.
Yeah, I agree. We could not avoid Europe. We knew they would come back some way or another. I mean, like either by buying someone with a license or by doing something else. But like Sarno, it's so profitable. They are well implanted in the entire ecosystem. They cannot say no. So better.
It's still a nascent industry when we think about it. Stablecoins, 10 years ago there was nothing. So
for sure.
I wonder if central bank will take it. That's another discussion, maybe.
Meaning CBDC, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we could completely talk about this at some point, because 1 year ago we felt like CBDC they were going to arrive, and now that Trump has been elected and he said no, at least for now, it's going to it changes a bit the narrative. So
could be why Tether is doing this move at the end, because they see that with Trump there for the next few years, I mean, like, and the politics that he will put in place, that the European Central Bank will not move on a CBDC if the US president say no. So they know that for 5 years they are quiet and there is no CBDC that will come and compete in their field. That's an interesting subject to raise, but maybe not
completely.
Today.
Yeah. And I also feel like, what are the chances that a CBDC created by central bank would be available natively on the blockchains we're using daily and not their own infrastructure and only using the infrastructure? And then you would have to create stable coins based on the CBDC, which basically, like,
They need to own the technology. That's the hard point for the banks, I think. But in the future, just imagine you can just arrive with gold, you put it at a bank, and it just mints some token on a chain of your choice, and then you have the liquidity available and certified by the bank because you deposit your collateral. That could be something.
Let's move to
Yeah.
the next news. You remember this summer, Germany sold 50,000 bitcoins, and they missed a financial big opportunity because the price has risen a lot since. And the former German finance minister Christian Lindner openly criticized Olaf Scholz's financial policy. In his view, Germany solely lacks a coherent vision for Bitcoin, an asset at the heart of global monetary transformation. And the United States, presented as an example, employs more flexible and incentivizing regulatory framework that attract capital and crypto innovation. So Linder regrets Berlin's cautious, even restrictive stance, which lacks any strategic reserve. So it's interesting to see that some people in Germany, important people, regrets the selling of these bitcoins. I think the consciousness is rising in Europe. It's interesting.
Yeah.
FOMO.
Yeah. It's crazy to think like 1 year ago, like everything, I wouldn't say was dead, but nearly, and like suddenly everything is like picking up drastically. Had you told me that 1 year ago that we would go so quickly in having those big discussions, I wouldn't have believed you, and yet here we are.
Yeah. Just to add, because I thought it was a huge mistake, but nobody doubts about that since day one here around the table and in the auditor, I guess. But taking consideration that currently the political situation in Germany is really bad. I mean, like there's a lot of fight. They are thinking about redoing an election for the deputy also. Like there's a lot of things ongoing. There's no, because you need to find a group of party, a coalition to like France is doing right now, but Germany is doing that all the time, more or less. It's part of their constitution. But the thing is, like the Ministry of Finance have been really bashed hardly the last weeks, and I think that's kind of a way back for him, saying, yeah, but we should have done that differently, and a kind of saving his face and creating a new phase in his political life. That could be something. I'm just saying because the last week he has been a lot on TV, not about crypto, but more about all the choices that he did around Germany the last years. And I think maybe use that as a smoke screen, maybe.
And Ripple launched its stable coin RLUSD yesterday, because of course the article is from yesterday. So yeah, they at last launched their stable coin. It's approved by a New York court, and the CEO of Ripple said that there will be a big purchase pressure on the XRP for the stable coin. So yeah, I think the market already priced this news on the XRP price, but yeah, it's the beginning of a new stable coin, a new dollar stable coin. One more, we can say. Yeah, go.
If I can, yeah. This raises a lot of questions about tomorrow's, the future of currencies. We around the table are going to use Philip's expression, but we all agree that the future is on chain. Money is going to be on chain. Payments are going to be on chain. It's going to take 5, 10 years, 20, but it's going to be on chain. But then we're seeing something completely new that I think we never discussed. Is Jerem, can you mute your mic? Thank you. With those stable coins, the dollar's derivative on chain has been transformed into a business. So it's very interesting to think. It's like, okay, today, if you want to, to book a train ticket, you can use several providers. this is what is happening with money. You can use different versions of the dollar. On-chain dollars have been privatized with companies. And it actually brings a new wave of innovation to money. And so if a person like Trump pushes the CBDC, it's going to kill that innovation. It's going to kill this new wave of American companies who are actually promoting the dollar. So in the end, for Trump, having powerful American companies pushing dollar stablecoins across the world is a way to keep having the dollar as the world currency used for trade. And if he pushes the CBDC, it means that the responsibility of driving the acquisition for the dollar comes back to the American government. And it's not shared with all the companies who share the risk and the opportunity of having dollars adopted and used. So he will, Trump not pushing a CBDC is actually most likely the reason why. It's because right now, Tether, Circle, Ripple, all the other companies doing dollar stablecoins are so profitable that they are pushing this product like mad. And it makes so much sense for them.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it make sense for the US Treasury to do that themselves? To, as you say, have an on-chain CBDC and be the ones who are making bank on the printing and burning fees of claiming them.
Because they will do it in a worse way. Every time a government does a private initiative or pushes a product that could be built by companies who their sole expertise is doing this, the government is doing it in a worse way.
Yeah, but
okay, guys, we'll need to move forward.
But it's a great topic. We need to have a roundtable about this.
Okay, let's do this. So now, before we move to the next, the first guest, we can say, of today, I would like to thank our second partner of GM Web3 MultiversX. It's eApes. eApes is one of the first and surviving NFT project on MultiversX. And they recently announced that they were launching a collection of 3,333 NFTs on Solana to explore new horizons. So they are offering $25 in their token, the eApes token. And all you have to do is to quote tweet the link of the space. And I will make the draw before the end of the day. And thank you very much for their support. So let's move to the guest that everyone is waiting. In the comment, we can see it. It's the founder of Dr. X. Hello and welcome.
Good morning, bonjour.
Oh, you speak French?
Un petit peu.
Okay, welcome and thank you for accepting our invitation this morning in GM Web3 MultiversX. So altogether, we'll have a 30 minutes interview to try to know more about you, the team, the project, and so on. And after, we'll be joined by Robert Sasu, and we'll speak about the impact for MultiversX for the next days and maybe for the next month. So first of all, maybe you can introduce yourself. Maybe who are you and where you're from and what's your name, because it's written Dr. X. So
Sure.
Tell us about you.
Thank you for having me, first of all. And it's really nice being here and having so many listeners. And thanks for the community for joining us as well. My name is Bogdan Barbu. I'm from Romania originally. I live in London for the past 15 years. I'm a hedge fund manager and early blockchain investor. And more recently, we started digging in more into building projects as well and investing on this side too. We were actively looking at the multiverse ecosystem since the beginning of the year. And more recently, over the summer, I caught up with my friend Greg, the X-Money CEO. We've been working together for many years. He was my client when I was an institutional broker, and he owned a quant hedge fund. And he told me the plans with what's going to happen with X-Money, and I was really impressed with that. I have full confidence that he will take this to the next level. So my fund and I, we started digging deeper into MultiversX and how we can get involved. We had a portion of our team on X Days as well in Munich, and we were really impressed with the feedback there. And we started scaling in, and it was perfect timing. Dr. X started coming to fruition after that.
Okay, so just we have few questions. So I wanted to know more about you, maybe your background. So you told about your background in institutional finance. Let's maybe start by telling us about the project. I mean, tell us about the ICE open blockchain. It was the initial blockchain. Can you tell us about this blockchain? Many doesn't know it. So can you maybe tell us about it first?
Yes, of course. ICE Open Network is a fairly new blockchain. They're going mainnet very soon. I think anytime now, either by the end of the year or early in January. So very, very shortly. They've developed very good technology when it comes to Tap2Earn. They were the first adopters to the Tap2Earn technology. They launched their Tap2Earn application late last year, I think in October. So they're the first token to launch in such a way, and they managed to get a very large community. And after that, you've all seen what happened with the meta in the Tap2Earn industry. So they've done an incredible job in making this technology popular. And we started working with them to adapt it to our needs and to this specific project. This project was specifically built for MultiversX. Speaking with the team, I think it's worth mentioning and thanking the owners and senior management from MultiversX that they were the ones that found us, actually, not the other way around. They've noticed what the Tap2Earn industry is doing, and they discussed with Misuse from ICE Open Network. And
yeah, so you launched a Tap2Earn project that is closed now. I think it was dedicated to farm the token before the airdrop and the listing. Of course, correct me if I'm wrong, because it's important to be clear. Why didn't you choose the Town blockchain, which is the home of Tap2Earn's games? And why you decided to choose MultiversX at the end to issue the token?
Well, multiple reasons for this, but first and foremost, we have a vested interest in MultiversX and egld, and we wanted to see how everything is from the inside, and we are very, very impressed and happy with what we found here. It's an incredible community, and I'm not just talking about the community, also the founders and people working for MultiversX and all the projects involved. We had incredible support from X-Portal, from X Alliance, from Bobber, and a lot of Xono, and a lot of other projects. The really important collaboration we did with Pulsar Money for a huge giveaway of 500 million DRX. So we've came on board to test the waters, to see what other projects are doing over here, and to network with the owners and see exactly how lively the project is and what potential the blockchain has.
Okay, just to mention, of course, in the comment section, you can ask your questions and we will ask so remember your name?
Bogdan.
Bogdan, yeah, okay. So, of course, we'll ask Bogdan, and yeah, okay. And guys, of course, Arno, Joachim, if you have any question, just write up in the private chat, so I know that you want to intervene, so it's easier to go. Yeah, Arno, let's go.
Yeah, hi Bogdan. Thanks for coming today.
Hello, Arne.
Can you give us a bit of perspective on what's your ambition with Dr. X?
Sure. So our initial idea of the Dr. X and why we called it Dr. X is that it's going to be the doctor of the MultiversX ecosystem, but we couldn't explain this idea to the Tap2Earn community, so we built it more meme-centric to begin with, to gather community and to be able to raise the masses. But going forward, the vision is to become an enabler for other projects in the ecosystem. Because we have a very large community, like for example, the project, the collaboration that we did with Pulsar Money, I think it has well over 25,000 subscribers already. And if you look on MultiversX, when we started collaborating 2 months ago, they were under 500,000 subscribers on Twitter. Now they're well above 1 million. So we are adding fuel to the fire, so to say, and we can collaborate with different projects from the ecosystem to boost them up and to see what's working, what's not working, and to bring visibility and community to the ones that are in need.
So what you're saying is that Dr. X is a growth partner to bring new eyes to the MultiversX ecosystem and projects within
Yes,
it.
exactly. With over 2.5 million holders and so many addresses built already on X Portal, I think we're considered part of the system right now, and we want to direct this attention to the projects that benefit, because there's a lot of smart people here, and I've already met with so many interesting guys. And I think that they would benefit from more community and from more boost, because at the end of the day, we're all businessmen here, and yes, we do it all for the blockchain and for evolution, but I think it's really important to consider also the financial aspect. And without a product and without selling something, you're not going to be able to have a lot of revenue. So going head to head with Greg from X Money, I know what they're trying to achieve there, and this is another way for easier and faster adoption towards the payment industry. And because if you're convincing people, 20-year-olds to join a Tap2Earn or a gamified app, I think it's much easier to then just give them a card from X Portal app and start spending directly from there, rather than going through the traditional banking system. So as I said, from our side, it's a tool to bring in the masses, bring in traffic, and be able to support the MultiversX system and egld in general.
Okay, interesting. And so can you enlighten us a bit? I had a look. I went on Dr. X profile, and on X, it says that you started in October 2024. We see the community that it has right now. You can't have people, think that how can you grow almost 500,000 people in 2 or 3 months? And so it raises questions, because
It's actually 11 million people in total that registered to our Telegram bot and Android
How much
application.
did you say?
11 million.
11 million.
Yes,
Okay.
out of which 2.7 million of them have passed facial verification KYC. So those are unique users to begin with, and the only ones that we've done the distribution to. So from this point, I think it's a lot of the merit of the two large communities from Ice Open Network and MultiversX for coming together and supporting the project and understanding the idea behind it. I think that both the senior management from Ice Open Network and MultiversX came really well together on this one, and they entrusted us with building this community that's going to fuel the rocket from now on.
And so you said that you did KYC for 2.5 million. Where do these people come from mainly? Is it well distributed?
It's global, of course, but there are concentrations mainly in Nigeria, which is a very big
Yes.
popular Tap2Earn destination, and of course East Asia as well.
Okay.
But with the help of MultiversX and their very stable presence and strong presence in Europe and the United States, we were able to gather significant and strong numbers in these regions as well.
Okay, it's interesting because then we're tapping into, you say, strong presence in the US. You know, we've been there for several years, and we can say that, you know, there's room to grow.
There's room to grow. That's why I'm here.
Grow. But
one of my hedge funds is based in New York, and investors are getting more and more attracted towards the crypto scene.
Yes.
Normally, we trade traditional assets. We have our main strategy is trading gold futures against spot gold, so mainly gold arbitrage, sort of a market-making strategy. But the returns that we're doing are nowhere close to the crypto market. And what they've seen that we've done with egld in 2-3 months since we started scaling in, everybody's super impressed and chuffed. So the sky is the limit from now on. I think this was a very good proof of concept for our investors. And now they're willing to raise the stakes and take a gamble on the project.
Okay. It's a good transition, I think, GRM, to the launch yesterday. And on your perspective, I mean, we have our perspective on within the community.
Please share. I'm curious how it was seen from your end, because I was doing 10,000 things at the same time. So please tell me what's your impression, and I'll tell you from the perspective of our team as.
The thing is, I saw in the comments of your post, or the post that you organized on Red, which is a very common practice. There's not point on this, that many people were asking for egld, you know, for the fees, because you decided to send a free egld for the users to pay the fee to send the tokens that they've been airdropped. Okay. So my question is, the fees are very low on MultiversX. Okay, very, very low. So many, if not the majority of people who received the airdrop are not even ready to buy cents. It's cents of dollars. It's not even cent. It's 0.00 cent. You know what I mean? It's really, really small amount of money. They are not even ready to buy such amount of egld to pay the fees. So do you think that these users you said are verified, even though we saw that the KYC you used is not like really perfect? Some said that it was pretty easy to bypass with the stranger pictures and so on. If you want to answer this, of course, feel free to do it. And yeah, so my question is, if these users are not even ready to buy just $1 of egld or even less, do you think these users will really bring something to MultiversX in the end? Or it will be just farmers and people that are just here for the opportunity and will not stay on MultiversX? And the second question is what...
Let's take it one by one, because it's going to be hard to recall.
Okay.
Yes. Allow me to respond.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
First of all, I'm most definitely thinking that they're going to help, and they're going to raise the bar and raise the volumes and transactions on the system. And this we can already notice with a lot of wallets created, a lot of transactions. It's gone up substantially, like, I don't know, 10-20% in the last couple of months, which is huge. If you're asking they will stay or will they help the price action, that's not really their job, but we can incentivize them, or we can persuade them to do that as well. No, they don't have buying power, most of the ones that are from the mining community, but that's not their purpose. Their purpose is being served very well, and they're doing a great job boosting the project, marketing the project, and making the project popular. And this attracts other investors as well. And us as a fund, we're doing that on the side, and I think that's crucial. To dig in more on the numbers and how the distribution went, I think handling 142 billion distribution to over 2.6 million users is no easy feat, and it took us well over 12 hours, but the system on MultiversX worked perfectly, and we had no glitches on that side. When it comes to the facial verification, have you tried that personally?
Nope.
All right, then
I
try it out and let me know how it goes. It's facial verification from regulated companies, and it's used in banking institutions and brokers, regulated brokers, not anything else. So
I read some posts from people that are used to KYC, and they said that it was not really trustable. But you're here to answer this, of course.
Well, my personal advice would be not to trust anything you see on the internet, and do your own research.
Okay. Philip, you have some technical questions.
Yeah, we're not going to technical, really. So hello, Bogdan. Thanks to being
My
there today.
pleasure, Philip. Nice to meet you.
And congrats for the launch. I mean, like, even if you have been through little wins, but I mean, like, that's also part of the experience. I mean, but well success otherwise. So congrats. No, my question is so I mean, maybe you know already the MultiversX team since quite a while, so I'm not sure about that, to be honest. But my question would be, I mean, after the first one would be, why MultiversX? Why?
I think I answered this question already, but we can revisit it.
Yeah, but I was more thinking about, like, from a technical point of view, like because the speed of transaction, it's something, but for example, there is like dynamic NFTs, and there is a lot of technology that unlock more functionalities that are not usual on the blockchain ecosystem, if I could say, or more mechanics that makes things easier and to simplify the onboarding of new user. And that's why you're focused at the moment. So for what I see, how do you see the MultiversX technology simplify this onboarding and your objective into reaching more and more users in your typing app?
The objective of reaching more and more users, of course, is really important, and it's been for the first phase of the project, because this helped us gain a lot of traction and popularity. But now moving into the second phase, this is going to take a more secondary act, so to say. So we're more about loyalizing and keeping these users and adding more quality users and buyers and investors to the pool, rather than miners, because that's done. When it comes to MultiversX technology in particular, we chose it because it's very versatile, and we can add a lot more things. Like, for example, tomorrow we're going to announce the staking mechanism for DRX, which is going to be another interesting addition to the pool. And there's NFTs you mentioned as well. We already made a partnership with Xono Marketplace with an incentive from our side for their users to do transactions, and they will receive DRX. And we'll be releasing Dr. X special NFT edition sometime early next year as well. And of course, there's a lot of other perks and technologies on MultiversX that we haven't tapped into yet, but we're really looking forward to do more, and go from the Tap2Earn mining app that's already finished, and evolve into this betting mechanism that we have prepared.
Great. Thanks.
I could tell you a little bit more about that if you're interested. So going forward, we're going to have a meme betting platform where users can play 1-versus-1 battles, for example. Let's say the two of us post a meme, you post a meme, I post a meme, and then all the community followers can bet DRX on it. The meme that wins takes the DRX from the other one. So winner takes all, something like that. So that's going to be very interesting. It's going to be measuring who's got the biggest DRX stash, and that's going to create a lot of buzz. We're going to have bigger competitions as well, of course, where it's going to be like Meme of the Week, for example, where everybody can participate, and it's going to be larger prizes with our sponsorship as well. And more importantly, there's going to be sponsored events from other projects or companies that want to gain visibility through our project. Let's say we have a casino that's coming on board next week, and they're going to have a large promotion through us. You'll be able to bet DRX directly in their gaming application. And with our help, they're gonna gain traction, and our users will be able to, for example, make memes about Pigmo Casino, and the winner is gonna take, I don't know, $10,000 sponsored by them, and so on. So we'll have a lot of these special events and sponsorships with other projects and other companies, which I think is beneficial for the whole ecosystem and definitely for our community.
Great. Thanks. Good to hear. I mean, a lot of things on the pipeline, I see. So I will be a little more patient and just look at it when it's released.
Most definitely. Looking forward to impressing everyone.
Thanks, man.
And you almost answered the questions, the question I wanted to ask you about how to maintain the users on the chain. You spoke about incentivizing them, entertaining them. So you spoke about this new DApp, this Memoir app, which is I think pretty cool. Do you have any, I don't know, marketing or products or things that will make the users stay, maybe referral, maybe more people and so on? So what do you maybe plan for the next weeks to make this million of account stay and and interact with maybe other products on MultiversX, because there are plenty of protocols and dApps and games and NFT collections and other meme coins and so on. So are you in touch with all of them, maybe to make it bigger for the whole blockchain?
Most definitely, X Alliance have been very, very helpful, and they've jumped on board from day one, and they've put us in touch with a lot of other interesting projects. And we're very grateful for that. Our partnership with Pulsar Money has already come to fruition, and next couple of weeks we're running this 500 million DRX campaign, where users can join and complete certain challenges and tasks, where they can follow Pulsar Money, follow Isopo Network, follow MultiversX, for example, stake some egld. So pretty basic, straightforward stuff, but that helps us gain traction from a marketing side, visibility, and also transactions on the chain, because they are rewarded for staking and doing transactions on the chain. So that's another aspect. So this is the first thing that we're doing in order to transition users from the meme app and from the Tap2Earn app towards the blockchain and towards transacting and swapping on the chain, and getting them more used to the system this way, by incentivizing them with extra rewards. Going forward, of course, we have bigger plans. We're working with some huge KOLs that are coming on board. Other great projects, I mentioned Pigmo Casino among the first before the end of the year. Early next year, we're having more and more interesting partnerships. Until now, we've done over 13 partnerships in total with similar Tap2Earn applications and other projects from MultiversX or other memes. We've done even a project collaboration with Bobber, and we had a nice airdrop for their holders. Hope they held some of them and didn't go back to Bobber. But I saw on chain that there were a few Bobber enthusiasts that were changing Bobber for DRX yesterday, so I'm not that upset.
Thank you very much. Just wanted you to precise something, maybe for the community. I saw that you raised 163 million on gate.io, but actually it was 50K that was supposed to be raised. So can you explain on this on this fundraising, how much did you really raise?
So that's a promotion organized by Gate.io in order to gain traction and visibility for the project. Their users stake their GT, what is it, their stable coin, in order to access the promotion and participate in the airdrop. It looks like our project has been one of the most successful and most attractive that has been launched in the past months or even this year. I'm not sure. I don't have all the statistics, but the guys from Gate said that the percentage was huge. It was something like 500,000% over the limit of 50K. So it's a small airdrop for each individual, considering how many have registered. I think the total amount was something like 85,000 supporters. That's bigger than some of the competitors that we had, like MMFI or other Tap2Earn on Ton or stuff like that. So we're really happy with how that promotion went. It seems that it gained a lot of traction, and we have a lot of buyers on Gate already. They managed to subside this selling pressure from the mining community. And I'm hoping for the well-being of the mining community, and we told them yesterday on Spaces as well to at least keep some DRX for posterity, because they would be able to say that they were among the original people that mined it for free. And if we were able to achieve this in 2 months, imagine what we can do in a year, and imagine where we'll be in 5 on the next bull run.
Okay, Arno, you wanted to...
Yeah. Yes. Bogdan, your performance on Gate.io, as you said, was crazy. Yesterday was a crazy day in terms of utilization of the MultiversX chain and infrastructure. We will talk about it later. What is, in your opinion, your acquisition secret sauce that makes you able to gather so many people?
To be perfectly honest, I think the secret sauce and the most important stuff is our partnership with Ice Open Network. They developed the Tap2Earn industry so much, and they've developed the technology, and they already have a huge community, and they have boosted us and collaborated with us every step of the way. So as I said yesterday as well, Dr. X is sort of the baby of Ice Open Network and MultiversX communities put together. And it seems that something nice came out. We have some very creative guys in the marketing team and graphic designers as well. The project is attractive. It looks good as well. It's funny. Who doesn't like a meme? Who doesn't? I think gambling and memeing put together with crypto enthusiasts is a recipe for success.
Completely. You talked about your team. Can you tell us a bit more about the team behind Dr. X? Because it is a meme project with, as you said, many upcoming products, features. So it is on a level of ambition of a different type.
Yeah, the Dr. X project is more of a personal ambition of mine rather than the hedge fund I run. It's not really staked by it, so we haven't gotten any investment or anything like that, because it was a risky endeavor to begin with. But now everybody's asking me why I didn't let them. So on the team side, on the finance and regulatory side, we're very well covered. Most of the guys are based here in London, and we work with very smart guys from Romania. My brothers from Romania, they're very good on the development and graphics side. We work with the best of the best, and we have some strong team of developers that are working on the betting app. So these are the main hubs, Bucharest and London.
Okay. Joachim, you had a question?
Yeah, sorry, my colleagues have been asking so many good questions that I hadn't had that many, but thank you for joining us today. My question was regarding the ICE Open Network. As you said, you've been working closely with them, and it's kind of like this is kind of a baby of both ICE Network and MultiversX. A bridge was opened yesterday to bring the ICE token from the BSC. What do you know what the vision is with that? Is it to enable DeFi possibilities on MultiversX? Because as I checked, I would say a few hours ago, there was around 200 accounts that did migrate some ICE. So I was curious to be like, if there is a communication plan or a strategy behind that, or just making ICE available everywhere.
There's a huge strategy regarding that. So out of the total supply of DRX, 5% is reserved for ICE holders, and we're going to distribute that on the MultiversX chain, so on X Portal. So we're expecting a lot of community coming on board and depositing their ICE, because this is where the distribution is going to be made. So if you hold ICE in X portal, you'll receive DRX as well, and you'll be able to stake both ICE and DRX for extra APR. There's some very interesting stuff happening, and I would recommend you to invite Zeus for a small chat as well when possible, so he can answer more of your questions when it comes to ICE Open Network.
Thank you very much. Then I'm curious to see what the next steps are for ICE, and maybe we'll have him here, GM.
Yeah, definitely. They're launching their mainnet very soon, so it's big time news there, and very interesting, very exciting stuff happening. And with the partnership with MultiversX as well, and us being in the middle here, I think things are moving in the right direction, and there's a lot of interest from a lot of venture capital and private equity firms.
Cool. So just to clarify, so everyone understands, the funds were raised for the ICE network on the BSC, which created the ICE token. Now there's a migration to MultiversX for the people who want to be eligible to future DRX airdrops and staking. And then when the mainnet launches, we're expecting bridges from both, I guess, to the mainnet. Is that it?
Exactly.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
Nope, hold on.
Before we receive Robert Sasu, I would like to maybe you to precise the airdrop process, because people on the comment are saying that they did not receive the full allocation, or maybe some of them were expecting more. So maybe can you precise, is it over the airdrop? So
Yes,
or
airdrop
there will
is,
be
finalized. The distribution have been made. No other DRX tokens will be ever minted. So what you see is what you get. The 203 billion is the final supply. In terms of the airdrop towards the community, I've went on this a few times. It's a bit frustrating on our side, because we put our own funds and our own time and energy and everything, and when you give something for free to people, they always want more. That's the downside. We did our best to launch this successfully, and I think it's a very good launch at a decent price. And if people would have the patience and they would actually contribute something to the project rather than just asking for a handout, I think it would go much better. And if they would actually engage as a community, not just follow you on X and say, and then throw some negativity when it's $5 instead of 50 or whatever they were imagining. This is
The beauty of Web3.
This is normal for the industry and for this. And I've heard one of our community members, Vindicator, and shout out to him on this channel, that saying that crypto is not a charity organization. It's not the distribution to poor or something like that. No, if you want money, you should get a job. Simple as that. If you want to participate in a crypto project and you participate in the airdrop, and Dr. X was one of the shortest and most rapid airdrops in history. I don't think 2 months any other Tap2Earn did that until now. If you're not happy with the amount of money, then invest. Do something. Participate in the project. Participate as a community member. And there's another thing, guys. If you're holding the RX, you've received the RX, and you want this to mean something, to have a certain threshold or to reach a certain price. Who in their right mind would speak badly of a project or of a coin that they're holding? That doesn't make sense to me. It means that you're not very bright. And from my perspective, if I'm holding egld, for example, I'm going to speak the loudest, and I'm going to be the one to be the biggest ambassador for egld, because I have a vested interest. If you guys don't understand this and you're that simple-minded, then don't let the door hit you on the way out, because we don't really need this type of traffic.
Okay, we had Robert and we lost him, so I'm sure he will come back.
I think he was driving, so
he made a stop for us.
all right,
Join us.
Robert never drives. His car drives for him.
All right.
Okay, so we will wait maybe a few seconds so he can join us again. Anyway, I would like to thank you, of course, Bogdan, for accepting our invitation, and thank you for answering all our questions, even the tough ones. It's the game in GM Web3. It's not we're not here to promote any project, but yeah, to make it clear for the community. So thanks again for accepting. To take the mic
Most
here.
definitely, it was my pleasure being here, and thank you for having me. I hope it was as informative for you as it was for me. And shout out to all our partners and community members. And whenever you guys need us, so we're always available, and we'll always try to answer everybody's questions and be as much transparent as possible when it comes to the project.
Thank you. And yeah, Robert is back. Hello, Robert. Welcome.
Hello everyone. Sorry for I'm on the road and it was hard to connect.
It's a pleasure to have you. I know you're in the middle of a hackathon. You're in the car, so you're taking the time to join us. Thank you very much. I will add Philip back. I'm not sure I can add as many. Yeah, let me see how. Yeah, this one will be okay. And yeah, so Robert, we have two questions for you. So we will try to make it short. So first of all, what do you think? Because you spoke a lot about Dr. X on your Twitter account, some maybe criticized because you were maybe promoted a scam, a rug pull. Maybe some people thought about it. Now it's clear because Bogdan answered all our questions. So what do you think about Dr. X, and what do you answer to people who said, Robert, what are you doing? We don't know them, and so on. So that's the first question.
From my side, this is one of the I think maybe one of the first projects who did not actually request any kind of technical help. They just did everything by themselves, paying for gas, making up pools, uh, making people to install X portal and all the process. And it was from their side, it was a smooth sailing. From our side, we had API issues, uh, but
We'll speak
uh,
about it. We'll speak
but
about
we
it just later.
yeah, we are going to fix that. But what we have shown is that people were installing X portal, doing those tasks, everything seems okay. And then this is the crypto space. People do this kind of tap to earn, and even it sometimes it seems like whoa, they are coming with 1 million users or over that it seems like it's a scam, but it is not so. In other places it happens a little bit more times, especially on Ton, I think. These kind of things, in MultiversX, this was the first one, such a kind. I think it was a great thing to see how everybody responds, and congratulations for Dr. X for the launch.
Did you maybe were you in touch with the team before you posted? Maybe did you make some due diligence before? So maybe to be careful because you're part of the co-founder and of the co-foundation, let's say. So yeah, maybe did you make some due diligence before, or you just trusted the process, like we say?
Um, at the time when I've got internal information, so I looked up at the numbers that these are real users and not bots. Then it was clear, okay, I can post it. I haven't looked up like what was the promises Dr. X token have made, because for me it was like business as usual, tap to earn. This was like completely normal stuff. I would say so. That's it. And when I saw that it's not like bots, it's not faking, then it was great.
Okay, and maybe just to be clear on that point, how can you uh, know whether it's a bot or it's not? Just for people like me who doesn't know how to make the difference sometimes.
It is on chain. It is really hard to know it, but as we have the information of how people, as in general statistical information, from which country, how many X portal installs happen. You know, X portal, you need a separate device. You get information about all kinds of statistics, and from there you see that those kinds of numbers you cannot install through bots in X portal. So that's a clear indicator, one of the clearest indicator in this sense. Plus, the Dr. X team was open with our business team, and they have discussed that a lot of people there were KYC'd and everything. So, from my understanding, everything was legit.
Okay, thank you. Let's speak about the API. As far as I understood, but I'm not a tech guy, so I will let, of course, maybe others speak about it. But what I understood is the blockchain was okay, but there were problems with the APIs. So, can you explain in maybe simple words what happened and what how to say what can you do to make it better for the next billion of users, if you see what I mean?
So the short answer to how to make it better is deploying more machines. That's how you solve the problem. But as a business, you do not want to pay for the infrastructure when the infrastructure is not used. So you want to make systems which scale dynamically. We had in place systems which scale dynamically, but actually the dynamic scaling of the systems just did not work. So they were, why doesn't a dynamic scaling not work? Because some you forgot or you see that some of the dependencies tend to one server or tend to one location of a storage which you haven't scaled up. And then it doesn't matter whether you scaled up 90% of your infrastructure if all the scaled up infrastructure is asking the same request to the same machine down the line. So that's what happened in technical terms in our case.
But you
Uh,
were aware about the coming airdrop. Sorry, Doctor. Sorry, Bogdan. I will give you the mic just after. But you were aware of the coming airdrop, so it was not possible for you, maybe to add more resources, or maybe it was not
no,
possible.
we have provisioned it, but something in out of the line. Some of the processes were not scaled up in such a way to raise to the demand. And then we have trusted the dynamic scaling solution, which actually did not work out, not in the first time and not on the second time. So we are going to revamp all this, rewrite all the stuff. One of the first things on the short term, all the APIs were on the same infrastructure. So for all the core products like Xportal Wallet and Xportal Wallet and the Explorer as well, X Exchange as well. So the first thing is that we will have 4 infrastructures for now. So every kind of core product to have its own API. So even if one fails, then the 75% of the system can work continuously. And then working more on this kind of dynamic scaling up. What happens, why this kind of scaling doesn't work up? Really, technically, it's the Elasticsearch problem or the indexer problem, where in order to scale up that, you need a lot of time, and it just doesn't work like automagically in minutes. But for example, to copy and duplicate an Elasticsearch with all kind of data took hours. So we need to make something with more redundancy around there. But this is an infrastructure issue, and we are working on it. So it's like until 10,000 people, the modern servers just keep up with the things. After 10,000 users, it's or between 10,000 and 100,000 users, which we had a few times, it's one type of problem. After 1 million users, that's yeah, like a completely other level of infrastructure issue. So like how to say, when you have 100,000 users and you have a powerful machine downstream, for example, for the Elasticsearch, that Elasticsearch can handle the load for those 100K users, even or I don't know how many machines, which are requesting and getting responses from one server. But when you went over to 1 million, and then you have uh, a set of middleware. So the users ask the middleware asks the Elasticsearch in this case. When there are too many middlewares asking the Elasticsearch, then that one fails. And it's not enough. You need to deploy those more and more.
Okay.
So that's
Um,
the engineering problem of growing and growing.
okay, Bogdan, you wanted to bounce on it?
Yes, please. I think Robert very well said about the scaling, and I compared this with there's no point in building a huge pipe if most of the time you're only using less than 10% out of it, and it's not every day that you're going to launch a project like Dr. X on the chain with hundreds of thousands of users, flogging at the same time. Gate.io and Bitmart also had issues with their systems, and it lagged for about half an hour. So from our perspective, it was okay, and I really want to thank again the team from MultiversX, Emmanuel, Sherban, Julian, and all the guys there that were online and quickly resolved everything. It was a bit of a panic on their side, I'm sure, but with competent people and guys who are ready and prepared, everything can be sorted. So thanks again for all the support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime.
I added some comments and here. So maybe the first one from Adam, which is relevant. What about people to build their own API and own infrastructure and stop using MVX free APIs? What do you think about it, Bogdan? And maybe Robert, do you agree with Adam on this?
I think that until the project is not too big, it can use the free API. That's why we put it up there. But when they start to scale, they have to learn a little bit of infrastructure and deploy their own services. It's not like, I think our free API, the MultiversX free API, offers the most information out of all the crypto for free. If we compare it, for example, to Solana, Sui, or others, there is no such a thing. And then teams cannot really use it. We gave it that. But when you are starting to have over 10,000 users, you have to deploy your own infrastructure. The thing is that people are running already, a lot of projects are running already validators. So the validators can push the data into their own stack of API and then use that. The thing is that the free API and our internal APIs, so those are two different systems. So the traffic on the free API doesn't bring down our own API. So that is in that sense solved. What we will do now is to separate for each product to have their own APIs as well.
Yeah, GM Robert, that's as you said, I think the topic that Adam is bringing up in a interesting way is something that has been discussed by quite a few builders, because as you say, the public API is very generous. and someone may be saying too generous. And the reality is that we have a lot of projects that have infrastructure costs by having their own observing squads, etc., that can't monetize it and can't get revenue for it because the projects that would have to pay to use it are using a free API because it has certain limits. And most of the dApps, for example, use the front end to do the API calls. So it's actually the user who's navigating to the website doing the API calls and adding additional loads to the public infrastructure instead of boosting and promoting the use of other private providers. And as you said, and I'll wrap that up right after. It is very interesting that, as you said, because several of the core products were linked to the same API, it gives that impression, and I'm weighting my words, impression, that the blockchain isn't responding because everywhere you go on the core products, nothing is responding. So I think, as you say, it is a very important feature to start migrating and have a separate infrastructure for each, as Pousset was mentioning. And I see the question popped up now.
I think that you put it really great. This point, I think both about the free public API being too generous, and I think in some of the next API validators calls, this might be a good topic, because if you validators feel this kind of thing, that you want to run infrastructure, we which definitely you have to monetize to the teams, then and if there are enough validators who want to do this, then it makes even sense to downgrade the public free API. Don't stone me, right, saying out this, but I think in this sense, the validators or those projects who offer infrastructure can give better APIs than the free one for a little bit of cost.
Yeah, 100%. Philippe, I'll let you take over.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, like, and I totally agree what you both said regarding like direct call from the front end to the API. It's sad to watch and sad to see. But thanks, Robert, to be there. I have a question because I mean, right now we all consider, in fact, that running an observing squad, running the Elasticsearch is really cost hardware. You need to store all the information from the blockchain, and that's more or less what increased the cost of the hardware to have like a full visibility of all the wallet and all the contracts. Like you saw, I posted the script yesterday. I mean, the timing was like a little rush for me, but the last week I spent a lot of time looking at the APIs, the deployment, trying with Dockers and all these different things. And there is a different aspect that can be improved. That would be the subject of another discussion. But I think the main point, I think that could be really an opening door for all the project, and maybe we can have this discussion about cutting the public API is it possible to configure my observing squad to only synchronize with a whitelist of wallet and smart contract? So if I can explain, if I'm a project with 100 users, 3 smart contract, like one stacking, one NFT mint, whatsoever, it would be really awesome. I don't know if it's possible, something that I need to dig up maybe with you, is like to configure the observing squad to just have all the information of my smart contract that I will interrogate, and all the wallet that had a transaction or that had a connection with one of the whitelisted address when I put. So at the end, the observing squad will be only recording through the indexer information that are coming from wallets relative to the project. So I should be able to get all the information for my call, but just ignoring the rest and running my own API on a really small server at the end, as long as my project stays small.
Technically speaking, that's possible. We have a component called notifier, and in the component called notifier, I don't know right now if this whitelisting from a config file is possible. I think it was one of the features we wanted to add and might be there already. But that's the code. If you want to dig into it, that's the code, because your observing squad will push information through the notifier to Elasticsearch or a Redis or an anything. And then on that side, on the notifier, this kind of whitelisting can happen, and then you don't need so much data to kept.
I think it's something to dig on because that will reduce drastically. And any project with just one stacking pool can more or less run their observing squad on a really small computer, even a VPS, or I would not say Raspberry, but not far maybe. And
Yeah, exactly, because what you want in the end only request and response for a small set of data.
exactly. And I think I think that could be really something that will create a wave where all the project can own their own, creating script with a proper configuration. And I think every project will be able to do that because 150, 200 euro for the server per month, like say Joachim, there is not a lot of project that can afford that and just burning money. I mean, it's difficult. So okay, there is a door in that direction. Happy to see it's open. And the good thing, I mean, the last thing after I leave the mic, was lucky that the entire team was at the office for resolve the problematic, I guess. I mean, we put all the project on site now and fix the bugs now.
Oh,
We
Robert
have a
is
lag.
having issues.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay because it will be the end of this show. Bogdan, thank you again for coming. There are a few questions in the comment. I will let you answer later if you want. And yeah, thank you very much for coming on GM Web3, and thank you for answering all of our questions. And yeah, all the best for Dr. X. I really, really hope it will bring great stuff on MultiversX, since we all know and we all believe it's a promising blockchain on which millions of people could evolve, interact, and build on.
Most definitely, guys. Thank you very much for having me here. I think that Dr. X is a very good proof of concept that large projects can be developed here on MultiversX, and how the community members and also the team from MultiversX and Isopo Network came together to help this project is really impressive. And I would recommend anyone that wants to build something strong, something for the future, to come on this blockchain, because you get a lot more support, and there's some very smart guys here. The teams are impeccable, and we've had an amazing experience so far.
Thank you, Robert, also for coming this morning. Is the hackathon over, or you will come back, go back there?
no, the hackathon was over yesterday before the party have started.
Okay,
We
yeah,
had the
we saw
party.
food and music.
Yeah, we had food and music and a little bit
Did you
of
win,
party.
Robert?
I came third,
Ah.
but if I may say a joke, we received 69 points, so that's a win.
Ah. Playing on the meme culture. Amazing.
Yeah. But I think that we will be the first ones to launch on a mainnet, so watch out for that.
Boy, and let's show us Andre is sleeping on the back seat now.
No, he's not sleeping anymore. It's great. It's great. He had a long night. He wanted to do something too big for the hackathon, and all night he was calculating math stuff, and it was hard for him.
Classic.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. And before we end this live stream, I would like to thank our third partner of the show. It's OneDex. It's a decentralized exchange on MultiversX, and they allow you to swap token, to stake, to farm, and so on with your tokens. And they are offering $25 in USDC, and all you have to do is to quote tweet the link of this space. So thank you very much to them for their support. And yeah, Bogdan, thank you very much again. Arno, Joachim, Philip, it was a pleasure to have you for this last GM Web3 MultiversX of the year. I had an idea a few hours ago. I think, Arno, let me know if you are in. I'm sure you will, to organize maybe back to school GM Web3 on January, inviting as many projects as possible to let us know what they plan for 2025. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Just let's not do it on the 1st.
No, never. No. It will be, of course. No. I think it will be on the 8th.
On the 8th. Okay.
You should have recovered by then, Arno.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe.
Let's see.
Maybe.
That's right, guys. Thank you for having me, and hopefully we'll see each other again shortly with more developments and more exciting news.
Thanks, Bogdan. Have a great day.
Likewise.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
And I remind everyone that you can find the replay of this show on every podcast platforms, on YouTube, and also on the GM Web3 Podcast X account. I always upload the video so you can watch the replay. Subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, guys, all the best for this like Christmas and New Year period. Yeah, enjoy.
Some family. Some foie gras, some wine, some.
You're trying to get cancelled, Philippe.
I come back in January. I have to zoom out the camera. I mean, like. Take care, everyone.
You too. Bye, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a great holiday.